Hi, everybody. Come on in the house.
Yes, welcome.
I'm Jim Shore. This is Robin.
Hi.
This is our last show before Christmas, so we thought we would take the opportunity to give you just a little bit of a sneak preview as to how we decorate for Christmas. Now, you've heard me talk a lot of times about the kind of things we do, the multiple trees we put up, the wreaths, the way we decorate the mantles, the way we decorate the dining table and that sort of thing. Well, I wasn't kidding, and I'm going to prove it to you, because we're going to take a little stroll through part of the house, and you can see actually where we live, and how we decorate for Christmas. So come on, let's take a look. First off, this is the foyer. Okay, so we've got a few things set up here to sort of welcome people in as they come into the house. We've got our one of the smaller nativities over here, one of my favorite subjects. But what I really wanted you to see up here is the way we do this wreath. Now, this is a stained glass window that's in the end of the foyer, and we put up this big wreath, and it's full of a lot of the miniature ornaments that we've collected over the years, as well as some of the villages and that sort of thing. So it just makes it sort of an attractive way to do it. Now but see the point I wanted to get across is that y'all can do this too. Now this is kind of over the top the way we do it, but you see we've just got a few of the elements here, and then we have other things that we put around. We've got a wreath here that we put some of this stuff, and all this stuff is available, and it's pretty darn cheap, if you keep your eyes open at the dollar store and that sort of thing, where most of these things like this come from. So it's easy to do, and you can do it yourself. Maybe not quite this elaborate, but you can. It'll give you an idea. Now, up there in the mezzanine, that's my purple tree. So that's one of my favorites, because as you know, that's my favorite color. And I prove that all the time, because that's what I always wear. So anyway, coming down the stairway, this comes into our, I guess you call it the great room, or the living room, or what have you. We've decorated all along the banister here. We've got decorations on top. Well, come on down. I'll talk as we go. So we've decorated the top of one of our break fronts here with the silver decorations. This is our main tree. It's made up of 3 trees together, as you can see. And these ornaments here, a lot of these ornaments we go everything from the very simple, inexpensive ornaments like this one, to more elaborate, and some of these antique ornaments are worth hundreds of dollars. And we've collected. Jan primarily has collected these things over the years, and we've got thousands of them, and we use them all over the place in our decoration. So come on in here. If you can see on top of the cabinet here, we've got that decorated too. And once again, see, these are just simple items that we've accumulated, and a lot of these things are readily available, where we take a primary piece and then we decorate, around it, and we expand from it. And we've got some of our other things, setting around just as points of interest. We've done the same thing up here at the mantle, as you can see. Once again, it's just simple things that we've accumulated, and you just put them together and spread them out, and it makes a really attractive thing. Now, follow me into the dining room, and I'll show you what we've done in there. This is the wreath. I think we featured that maybe the other day when we were seeing, so we've hung that up. And this is all some of the many ornaments that I've done, and one of the centerpieces in here. And once again, you can take some of the pieces that you have in your collection and do this very thing. Okay, so come on in here. Okay, this is our dining room, and one of the things that we think is a lot of fun in here is we've decorated the tree in here with ornaments that are all relevant to food and drink. So we've got everything from teapots to pretzels, and here's a little grater and that sort of thing. Hidden in here somewhere is our Christmas pickle. And I'm not going to show you where it's at, but it's in there. And the tradition is that the one child that finds it gets a little extra special gift. So it's in there for the kids to find. Okay, now I've told you before how I do the the table. How you take a centerpiece, something that's maybe a primary piece, and then you just start adding stuff that you've accumulated. And in this case, this kind of stuff is you can get that at the hobby store and that sort of thing. And the flowers and all that sort of stuff. And we just start building it from the center out, and we've got examples of some of our work. We've got the little truck, Santa's truck there, and some of the Santa pieces, and we use snowmen and cardinals and gnomes and anything that we've accumulated and collected, and we just put them in there and stretch them out, and it just covers the table in a very interesting and beautiful way. And then,
well, you're not gonna have room to eat, but you got decorations.
Eat?
Yeah, there's no eating at this table because there's no room for place settings.
Well, we'll figure that out on
Just
Christmas
push it
Day.
out. Yeah. Okay.
But, okay, so that gives you I think a pretty good idea of a little bit of what we do in the house here. So there's more to be seen, but we'll leave that for another day. Mm-hmm. You see us in the kitchen a lot, and the kitchen's over in that part of the house, and it's all decorated like this too. We'll show you that at some later time. So in the meantime, I think we've got some questions and answers.
Yes, well, last week we missed all our questions because we were so busy chatting about other things. So we thought we would try to get some questions in today. Okay, so the first question is, Melissa says, recently the Esmeralda, yes, that's how you say it, was released in the U.S. I was wondering if you're going to make more characters.
Esmeralda was released?
Well, the figurine, in the U.S. But yes, you are very right. She was, and she is coming to the U.K. soon.
Hot dog. Okay, this is the...
That's the piece.
This is the drawing. I don't know how many times I have to go over this, but I'll go over it again.
Okay.
The very first step after we decide on what we want to go forward with as far as new pieces, line extensions, and all that kind of thing, with the co-brands and with the licensed people and with everybody. First thing I do is I go down the list. I start working down the list, and I make, first and foremost, a fairly comprehensive and detailed drawing of exactly, in detail, what I'm thinking. So as soon as I get it down on paper, then I can convey it to everybody else, and they know what I'm thinking too. And then they'll see what the piece is going to be, and then we can actually have a discussion on that. If they see something that they want to to add to it, or something about the coloration that we've selected, or something like that, collaboratively. Is that a word?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, we decide. We decide on what the finished piece is going to be, and then that's what we go with. Okay, here is Esmeralda, and say that.
I'm not saying that.
I'm going to guess that that's Jolly.
Jolly? I don't know.
Because it starts
Someone will tell us.
It starts with a D, but I'm guessing that is
her friend the goat.
A silenced D. Either that or it's Jolly.
Yeah, I don't think that's it.
I think Jolly.
Yeah.
Jolly? Okay, here
Jolly?
it is. Anyway, this is her sidekick goat, and this is Esmeralda. And this is going to be a very dynamic piece, as you can see, because she's dancing, and it's going to be, in fact it is. This is one of the pieces that is already through the sculpting part.
It's
We've
available
finished that.
on
The product development stuff, it is available, and it is, like Robin said, she has been released, and she is ready for you to own if you like this piece. And I love this piece. This is one of those pieces where there's a whole lot of movement, and it's got kind of a ethnic flair to it, and it's just a very, very fun piece. That's a fun piece, even if you're not familiar with the story or the character. So anyway.
Well, okay, while we're talking about her, because she's new and different, and we don't talk about her often.
Right.
These are a couple more things that are, new and different pieces.
Okay, this is kind of a, I don't know, an unusual take or a combination, I guess, with a familiar character. And this is the tiki pole at the, one of the restaurants there, I think. What is it,
in Disney World?
It's not Disney World, but it's where the tiki stuff is. they got the birds
Oh
and all
yeah,
that stuff.
in the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, it's in the Magic Kingdom.
When you go to the left.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, just.
I can navigate you there.
Go to the
but don't
Magic
know which
Kingdom.
one.
Take a left. You can't miss it. Anyway, this. This is the tiki pole that's there.
Yes.
And this, of course, is our friend Donald. And this actually celebrates the Disney World's 50th anniversary.
Yes.
50 years old.
Yes, that's.
If you can believe that.
I know.
And then this is
The Cheshire Cat.
yeah, this is the Cheshire Cat with sort of a this is the Christmas version of the Cheshire Cat, and that is that's from what's it from?
Alice in Wonderland.
Alice in Wonderland. You can see that the tail is like a candy cane. That's gives it sort of a Christmas flair, and we've got some nice design work in the bottom. So that's a fun and whimsical piece to collect, and that's available in the summer of next year.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Summer of 21. That piece will be available.
All right.
Whew, I tell you what, we've got so many pieces that we've been working on, and you know the way it works. A lot of this stuff that I'm showing you now, actually had its start or its inception at the brainstorm sessions several sessions ago.
Yes.
Because it takes a while for this stuff to roll through the process. So there's even stuff that when I see it, I'm thinking, wow, it surprises me.
You remember it all over again.
Yeah, it's like seeing something practically brand new.
Okay. Mary says, I collect your Lapland Santas. How many have you done and what's coming next?
Well, let's see. I've done a whole bunch of them.
12.
I've done 12. And that's actually one of my favorite things to do, because the Lapland Santa, now the Laplanders, they call themselves the Sami.
Mm-hmm. I love that.
That's how they refer to themselves, and that's what they prefer. But the work that they do artistically is it's real genuine folk art. And it's very colorful, and it's done in the far north. They're up in like the northern part of Scandinavia, the northern part of Finland, like up towards the Arctic Circle, and they actually use reindeer up there as like working animals. Reindeers pull their sleigh and everything, and I'm sure that was what the inspiration for the Clement Moore poem,
yes.
where he says with the reindeers and all that stuff. Because I think before that, Santa Claus was a character, St. Nicholas was a character that wasn't as well defined as it was before that poem. And that poem, I think, sort of set the tone for what Santa Claus was going to look like, and that sort of thing, the traditional version.
Right.
And anyway, this is the latest one. This is my annual Lapland Santa. And it's got the characteristic crewel work that they use, and then it's got a scene on it that we like to have scenes that sort of tell stories within the story, and he's warming himself by smoking a pipe, and which I do occasionally myself, actually.
Yes, and I just pulled some of the old ones. I thought,
Yeah, okay.
they might like to see those.
Yeah, some of the ones and some of them, are any of these still available online?
There should be the one still
Yeah, I think they are. There's several of these that are still available, and this is one of those things that if you like this collection, this is part of the fun of collecting, is going out there and sort of doing a scavenger hunt, trying to find things that are available, and you can do them on a lot of different sites, have pieces that are retired and so forth. But as you can see, it's the same it's the same theme with a little different approach. See here, once again, I've got a scene within a scene, which is this is on this piece, and I don't know which one that is in the sequence of things, but this scene is it's like,
that must be 18.
Yeah.
No, it must be 18 because it's not
okay.
on here. We're looking at our little cheat list here.
Yeah, right. So this is a realistic version of reindeer, in a snow scene and everything like that. So that's part of that. And I've done something similar. Of course, this is actually taken from one of their actual designs that they've used as far as the crewel work and that sort of stuff. And it's their costumes are absolutely beautiful.
There.
When I say costume, this is what they regularly wear. This is this one that I just showed you with the sleigh bells and so forth, and then it's got the scene in there. So
Right.
that's a beautiful collection, one of my favorites because it is so
The detail.
colorful and it's rustic, and it's emblematic of what I think of when I think of a traditional Christmas.
Yes. Okay, Melissa says, can you maybe give us an update on the 3 Peter Pan designs? Will they ever be produced?
Well, sometimes I will design things and they don't immediately, get
Right.
put out there. And this is, I think, one of those ones that, or they'll hold them over till the next season. They never really go away. They're always
They're always an option.
Yeah, there's an option, and they're sort of in line to be done. And a lot of times we'll go through, actually even through the sculpting process and the carving and the product development, all the way up to almost production. And then they'll say, okay, well, production schedule or factory capacity or whatever, throws a wrench in things, and I say, okay, we've put our emphasis on something else, and we'll leave this for next year. I mean,
Yes.
that happens.
Well, there's already so much that comes out.
Yeah, it's like,
you can't do all of it, right?
yeah, I don't think anybody would fault us for not having enough.
Right.
This is one of those pieces, and that's a very, I think, an elegant piece as far as the story of Peter Pan is concerned. It's kind of part of the story that's not told very much, and that's this interaction between Wendy and Peter Pan. And I must say the bedstead that they're balancing on, and the trunk and all that sort of thing, that is in extremely high detail. So there is a lot of beautiful contrast in that particular piece that I think whenever there's contrast like that. Between let's say the elegance of the Victorian, Wendy Darling and her family and her position, with sort of the crude roughness and down the earthiness of Peter Pan, and what he stands for relative to what they stand for. It's it makes an interesting contrast as sort of a subtext in the story, and I like to try to convey that whenever I can. Okay, here's another one, and this is a good one. This is the villain of the whole story, Captain Hook, and he's once again in fairly high detail, and he's got his map out there, and he's got a map, and that's the map of Neverland, and this is as you can see by his expression, he's sort of planning something nefarious. He's got his area staked out with his dagger. So that's a good piece. And then actually the base of it actually has a little bit of a diorama showing a part of the Neverland story. So that's a pretty good piece. Okay, and actually that's just like the table I just built. Actually,
It is.
Yeah, I actually built this table that I show there.
We'll have to do a side by side.
Yeah, we'll have to. Exactly. Okay, and this is another one. This is where John and Michael are sword fighting, and they're pretending to be, pirates themselves.
It's a cute.
So that's
cute
that's a cute part of the story. So once again, there's a lot to be seen, and this is that very same piece that we've done the color work on, and this shows you the way we do this. One of the progressions of how we do, and that's start out with the drawing, work through that, then we do the color work, and Crystal Rose is our colorist, and she's the one that works real hard doing the color under our direction.
Well, hopefully they'll get made, because they're really good pieces, and we'll see. Okay, Donna says, we get this question all the time. I have 2 pieces that metal pieces broke off, or something is broken. How do you fix them? Can you fix them? You
take them to the Jim Shore Hartwood Creek Hospital, and we do sometimes emergency surgery.
Oh yeah.
And
all the glue.
Yeah. Okay, here's what you do. Now, most of these breaks. Now, okay, there's two things that happen. A lot of these pieces are, because of the detailing of it, we mold and cast them as separate pieces, and then we assemble them, because getting a piece with a lot of extremities and so forth out of a mold is impossible. So you have to mold them separately, and then the joints are generally like a mortise and tenon joint. That means they have an opening and then a piece that slips into there, and that's what kind of orients it and helps hold them together. Those are generally glued in there with a type of, we generally use an industrial, similar to it's called well, I won't go into what it's called because that's one of those long
Yeah,
words.
it's okay.
And,
Nothing we're going to do anything with.
Exactly,
Anyway.
it's kind of like super glue, okay? But sometimes that joint doesn't hold just the way it should for one reason or another, and the piece comes apart. Well, that's very easy because it actually isn't a break. Mm-hmm. It's just a disassemblage. And you can very easily put those pieces together, and you can recognize it because you'll see the little way it fits together. You can just put a little bit of super glue on that, stick them together, hold it until it holds, and then it's fixed. Now, if it's an actual break, oftentimes when these things break, they break along a very, very clean line. Mm-hmm. And so that means that when they fit together, the joint will be almost seamless.
Right.
And that way, we recommend that you use a little bit of super glue. We like the Gorilla Glue mm-hmm. because it's kind of a gel.
Yes.
It's got a little bit of viscosity to it, so it's easy to work. Mm-hmm. And that works real well. And if that doesn't work, then use 5-minute epoxy that is available at hardware store or even supermarket.
Mm-hmm. Oh, goodness. Bless you.
Okay, I often wondered how that was going to work if I was going to sneeze on air.
We haven't had sneezing or coughing fits yet.
I've never done it on QVC, but I'm waiting. Yeah. Okay, so.
Well, the super glue is, if I fix something, super glue's worked every time.
Yeah,
so
super glue.
That's the way to go, I think.
But the fallback for the really, or the bigger pieces, I use the 5-minute epoxy, and that works well.
Okay, this is a fun question.
Okay.
Christina says, "What are y'all up to for Christmas? Do you have favorite sweets, ham, turkey, tradition? What is
Well, Christmas is a wonderful day for us because mm-hmm. Generally there's packages for everyone under the tree, mm-hmm. and there's stockings are hung, by the chimney with care.
Yes, of course.
And so all the kids come, all of the grandkids and all my children and their spouses and boyfriends and girlfriends and friends of friends. We've got a few people that we've actually sort of adopted.
Oh yeah, over the years we've had all
and
kinds.
they show up. And we all, one of our traditions is we all wear the same type of pajamas. Mm-hmm. And
I should have brought them out.
I know.
Yours,
we should have worn them today.
No, we're not going that far. But I did just bring yours and Mom's over today.
Very good. Okay, anyway, we're all dressed alike in these pajamas, and a lot of times they're a little bit of whimsy to them. And one of the things we do, we came down the stairway that we always take a picture of, and it sort of makes kind of a Christmas tree shape, mm-hmm. With the whole family. And we generally have like a breakfast.
That's my favorite part.
I know. We have breakfast, so we get in there and we all cook together, and we have ham and grits and eggs and cheese and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And it's a wonderful time to get together for a wonderful Christmas morning breakfast. Mm-hmm. Then we all come into the living room, and the little ones will distribute the presents to everyone, and we'll open our presents and compare what we've got and that sort of thing. Yeah. And
then it's a disaster. There's wrapping paper everywhere.
It's a mess.
Yeah.
Everything is so beautiful when we start, and it's such a wreck when we're finished.
It is.
But everybody enjoys that. And then we also are ready for the big meal of the day, which is kind of sort of our late lunch. Mm-hmm. And that's generally a ham. Well, it's always a ham.
Always a ham.
And sometimes I even do a small turkey. Mm-hmm. And or we bake a chicken, or we do something like that in addition to into the ham. The ham is kind of the centerpiece. And then everybody has brought things that's kind of sort of a potluck, kind of like we do at Thanksgiving. Yeah. But it's not centered necessarily on the meal, but it's always a great meal. Mm-hmm. And we have some of the traditional things that you generally have during Christmas for the meal. And I think last year I made a Yorkshire pudding, which was kind of English and that sort of stuff. So we always enjoy that though. But once again, we get together, we say our prayers, and we thank the good Lord for all the way we've been blessed, and we thank Him for what Christmas is all about, which is of course the birth of His Son, our Lord Jesus, and that's a part that we never forget. And so we get together as just a loving family, like we hope all of you do, and we celebrate one of the most wonderful days of the year.
Well,
Okay.
before we wrap it up, we're just going to show you guys a couple of things from Jim Shore and More
Okay.
that you can still get. You want to show the book?
Yeah, this is the book. This is Magic in the Attic. That's the Button and Squeaky book. And we've already made a big deal about this on several of the other things, where we have some really nice illustrations in that. If you buy it from Jim Shore and More, it will be signed. I don't think I've signed this one yet, but I generally sign it right here. So you'll get the signed copy. And this is the first of many. And we've already got the book 2 in the works, and the writing for book 3, and also the layout for book 4. So they'll be coming about 2 a year, but this is the first one. So if you're going to collect them, this is a very important one to have, and I urge you to pick it up. It's available actually at Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and so forth. And there are Button and Squeaky figural pieces to go at jimshore.com and that sort of thing. So it's a all-inclusive project that we've got going, and this is one of my favorites.
A couple of more little gifts, last-minute gifts if you need. The gnomes, of course, are adorable. We are just loving those.
Yeah.
Everybody's asking for them, even in the family. Jennifer's got to get busy.
That's something that Jennifer makes.
Yes.
And, so we started this gnome thing, and
it's taken off. Let me
it's
tell you.
gone nuts.
And then the cross stitch. I think there's several different Christmas designs of the cross stitch.
And some other designs.
Yeah,
as well.
and then some everyday if you want some everyday ones. And then our newest print is the cardinal print.
Yep.
Which Jim will sign.
That's right.
And then the poem that Lisa wrote to go with it.
Yeah, that's Lisa Noon,
Mm-hmm.
and she's one of our favorite artists. She's also a contributing artist to UNESCO, who we license with. And she has, I urge you when you go on the UNESCO site to look up the things that Lisa has, and she does a lot of bereavement things and some beautiful stuff with her poetry and her photography. She's a master photographer, and she captures the cardinal. That's her favorite subject in beautiful ways. So we urge you to support her as well.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's it.
And this one, oh, by the way, this isn't signed here, but the print that you get will be signed. All the prints,
here you go.
actually.
You can sign it right now.
Okay. Good enough.
And this is all based off the figurine that is already made.
Yeah, that's right. This actually started out as one of those working drawings that we talk about. So this was the drawing that started the piece that is, and it's available on
it should be available
on jimshore.com.
Such finesse.
Still got it.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
My signature does not look like that.
Okay, well that about does it for today. Can you think of
Yes.
anything else we need to impart?
No, except for have a really, really Merry Christmas.
Yeah, we hope that
excited.
you and your family and your friends have a very merry and blessed Christmas, and that sort of opens the door for a wonderful and prosperous New Year.
Yes.
And that's what's next. And thank God this
year is
this year
wrapping
is
up. We need a new one.
we need a new one, and we're ready for it, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Merry Christmas to you all. And in the meantime, stay safe and stay healthy, and just know that we love you all. God bless you. And until we meet again, probably next year.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Merry Christmas.